The Around the NFL podcast is ready for a week of Swifties.
From the Chris Wessling podcast studio, it's Around the NFL. I am Dan Hanzus. I have heroes here: Marc Sessler, Gregg Rosnethal, Taylor Swift. 6 sold-out shows at SoFi Stadium right across the sidewalk. It's probably going to get a little messy around here in terms of traffic flow. The city of Inglewood had never quite figured this out, and now they're building an arena up the street. Ballmer and the Clippers. Anyway, what's up, everybody?
They're out there already. The Swifties are out there. They're buying merch. I wouldn't say they've come as strong so far as the BTS Army, but they're out there.
I love.
Someone suggested to our friend Burgo, who's a young single man, he should just like go prowl. That would be a good place to meet people, you know.
A lot of teenagers, right?
A lot of women in their 30s.
Yeah, that's true. She does spend. She is Swift. What I love about
a lot of Swift talk.
I love monoculture that doesn't really exist anymore for the most part, but Taylor Swift represents whatever's left of the monoculture. This is Bruce Springsteen in 1985. To have an artist this big, this dominant, at the top of her craft creatively and also commercially, it's her imperial period, and I love it. I'm looking forward to the show. And nobody won the raffle connected to us, but we can't be surprised, Mark, after the approvals controversy.
Well, no, something there feels very suspicious. And I know that there was an investigation at hand about that. I like the Springsteen parallel that you've drawn. I drove in today, and there are already people lining up for merch. Like, it's very busy. There's a lot of foot traffic. But the BTS crowd, I know you went to the show, Greg, but like
I recall. No.
Oh, I thought you did. I recall
family.
them being like, it was a young crowd, but wearing like kitty cat ears and dressed up as like cats and stuff. Am I wrong about that?
Well, you're the cat guy.
No,
look at your laptop. You tell us.
I mean, there was a lot of
wild
outfits.
like cosplay stuff going on. I don't think that's absent with the Taylor Swift crowd.
Incorrect, actually. This is the Eras tour, and people are going to the shows dressed in various different Taylor eras.
Well, I'm correct.
You're going to see a lot of
corrected that.
Then. Anyway,
you're going, so you can give us a first-hand report.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift imperial period. I got some developing news right off the bat. We got a lot to get to, but this is important.
It's like,
doing this
you
again?
say that right before something that's not important. That's the key.
You tell me this isn't important? How long have we wondered about Tom Pelissero and the nickname we crafted and whether he's aware of it? How long?
From the minute that we crafted it.
We don't have a
Months
personal
at
relationship with him.
A year
so
plus.
There's no way for us to know.
Yeah.
I did say hello to him at the Content Summit. You guys weren't there. That hello was about the extent of it, and he did not ask about you guys. So,
well, that's no surprise.
Well, according to some recent developments, he's a fan, maybe just shy. This is Colleen Wolfe at Steelers camp. It was Colleen left, Baldy center, and yes, the insider Tom Pelissero, right.
Tom, I don't know if this is news to you because you usually bring us the news, but the Around the NFL podcast, they have a nickname for you. It's called the Pell Raiser, and I just wanted your reaction if this is in fact news.
How long has this been going on?
Quite some time.
Behind your back, Tom, evidently.
Because I'm a regular viewer of that program, I should know that. I like it.
A viewer of the podcast?
Or whatever. Is it on TV too? Around the NFL's
Pell
everywhere.
Raiser is
It's
with
all
us
around.
today.
Pell Raiser.
I think it's a 10 out of 10 nickname.
I like it. I dig it.
Okay, good. So we got the stamp of approval.
Did we, though?
I don't know if we did. I mean, also, he's got our back. He's a friend of the show.
He's stirring the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that man.
well, it's good to know he's part of our growing subscribers on YouTube. He's more of a guy who watches us.
Right.
Clearly,
He likes the visual.
He was the one sending those emails, tweets over the weekends, like, "Hey, where's the YouTube? The whispers. It took a couple extra days. Just things happen. Sometimes going up on the YouTube." Pell Raiser didn't get his around the NFL.
I mean, Greg, over under on how many minutes he's watched of our show on YouTube. I'm going to put it at 7 minutes. And by mistake, if he did.
Oh,
by mistake,
well,
I don't.
No, I don't.
It's a 0. I would say total.
That's out of bounds, Mark.
Total podcasts that he's ever listened to and YouTube's over under. I think 1 minute.
It was unclear to him that we were a podcast to begin. So, I think it's murky.
Could he have listened to the Ian Rappaport one where he was on the hot seat? It would have been possible, but even then I say no.
Tom, if you're listening or watching, I believe you.
No, you don't.
I do.
What do you?
Every word.
Oh, I do too.
No, it's too late. It's too late, and there will be hell to pay. Hell to pay. Let's do some news.
How many 5-year-olds would it take to tackle Derrick Henry?
A ton. I don't even know if they could. How many kids would die in the process, I would imagine. I don't know. Do I need to give you a number?
Jesus Christ, Mike Vrabel.
Like a legitimate number? 35. You want to try it? Test it out?
Yeah, can we try it?
Sure, as long as you're one of the 5-year-olds.
Well, that's unpacked there. Mike Vrabel, coach of the Tennessee Titans, asked, not too far off from the questions that drive me crazy with our mailbag, how many 5-year-olds would it take to tackle burly Titans star running back Derrick Henry? He mentioned the death of children potentially, and then settled on, what was the number? 30?
35.
35?
He's unaware of the child gangs that are lurking through Europe and parts of America.
I feel like that's low. I feel like I'm taking the under. He could trash 30 easy.
Well, it's more, there's not going to be a 5-year-old or group of 5-year-olds that bring down Derrick Henry, but they could trip him up just by their bodies being at his feet. And
well, you're also asking them to, operate in concert, which is tough for 5-year-olds. Like, they'd have to have a real plan. Can they come up with that on their own, or do they have a coach?
Well, Henry's got that dog in him, but does the dog stay barking when you see like some kids crying on the floor? It's part of his mettle.
I mean, 5-year-olds are very cute also. The idea that is he going to...
That's not the skill.
That's
not the trait that we're looking for here, though. Cute doesn't stop Derrick Henry.
I'm just saying, will that stop or slow him down at least? This idea that, do I really want to injure these 5-year-olds, or am I going to go into a more of a soft rush up the middle?
Yeah, you have to plan on his theoretical humanity.
The answer is 26, by the way.
Are they male or female?
It's a collection. Mark, don't be exclusionary. I've talked to you off mic about that, and now we have to do it.
I'm including.
Just because it's football doesn't mean there can't be
I'm hoping
young
it's
women.
both genders, and many others.
Let's get to the news. Starting with Cooper Kupp. Not great news for the Rams, who will be without their star wide receiver for multiple weeks, it appears. According to Adam Schefter, a few weeks. Kupp could be out with a hamstring injury suffered in practice on Tuesday. Kupp missed a lot of last season with a high ankle sprain, had one of the great seasons in the history of the sport, Triple Crown winner in the Super Bowl season of 2021, which feels so long ago now. But Kupp, sneaky old at 30, Greg, dealing with some injuries here. Should be good to go, but not ideal.
Man, he is sneaky old. He's like been in the league barely longer than Lamar, for instance, and about 4 years older than him. He had some injuries early in his career. Remember, he missed about half his second season. He had some games where he was like in and out in 2020. It might be one of those stories.
ACL also.
Right, and it might be one of those stories that's nothing. But I'm just worried because this whole idea that they're spending training camp like we're going to be frisky on offense. The idea is they're good on offense, and yet their number 2 receiver is Van Jefferson, who's done close to very little as a pro, and their number 3 receiver is who knows, like Tutu Atwell.
Van Jefferson has battled knee issues this offseason too. Yeah, this is a weird team. Like, I think their win total sits at about like 6.5. If you wanted to take the over under on that, and I kind of think I'm taking the under.
In other news, let's get back to, I was trying to think of a name like Hackett Gate or Peyton Gate, but how about Hackett Job?
I like that better. Let's get off the gate thing.
Yeah, Hackett Job, 23. We've been tracking the story closely. Jets offensive coordinator and former Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett attacked in an interview on USA Today by now Broncos coach Sean Payton. We had heard from Saleh. We had heard from Aaron Rodgers. We had heard from other Jets players. We had heard from Payton himself. Stepping back and trying to hide from the controversy. Finally, let's hear from Nathaniel Hackett, who spoke to the media on Tuesday.
I've been involved in this business my whole life, 43 years. And as a coach, as a coach's kid, we live in a glass house. We know that. We all live in different rooms. We all got a key for it. And it's one of those things that there's a code, there's a way things are done in that house. And
He was also commenting on his surprise that this controversy, he thought it would pop up at some point, maybe not in this forum, but it wouldn't be for a few more weeks.
it's unfortunate that had to happen, the comments that were made, but hey, they did. I'll tell you, I was probably more surprised that they happened now. Was definitely expecting them in week 5. So I'm almost thankful that we got that, out of the way. We all understand where certain people feel and think.
Week 5, Jets Broncos. Bad news for Nate. It's going to come up again in October, but maybe it will be not as hot a story, or maybe it will be hotter. I don't know. There is the latest, and maybe the final dispatch on this particular gem of the offseason.
Well, it won't be the final. I mean, also, Sean Payton claimed that he was going to call up Nathaniel Hackett and apologize man-to-man, person-to-person. And Hackett said that's not happened yet, and he doesn't expect it to. I don't know. In the end, I think Sean Payton, I think there was a strategy behind all this, and I've stood by the fact that I think
sticking to my theory.
Yeah, I like that theory.
Well, I think your theory is
just loose.
Your theory is on point, but I think it was
Real loose.
in defense of Russell Wilson. But he comes out looking poorly here, and I thought, if anything, Hackett just kind of owned it. Who's more disappointed about what happened with the Denver Broncos than Nathaniel Hackett? He's also under a lot of pressure because I think there's some suspicion around, being not attached to Aaron Rodgers. The ship sinks right away. Now you're with him again, but the Jets' schedule out of the gate is really rough. So I'm interested to see where that team is in Week 5 by the time they played the Broncos.
I saw this Hard Knocks ad. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Dan. You got the Hard Knocks podcast coming up, and it said the most compelling team in the NFL. Dun dun dun. And that's the New York Jets, and we're just adding fuel to the fire. It's great, and you're right that it's coming back up in Week 5, but I think Mark hit the key point here. Was Sean Payton has just showed his ass. I don't care that he said it at all. I actually don't even care that he regretted it afterwards and apologized for it. That's all fine too, but you're just being a total phony if you didn't actually call the man. Just be a human.
Sean
you know
Payton,
what I mean?
of course.
You're a complete phony who's just tried to manipulate the media in one way first, then tried it the other way, and it's you couldn't be a real dude and actually just call the guy and have a talk. Come on.
Right, and yeah.
Also, what are you going to say to him?
Well, sorry.
Why did
Just
you
be sorry.
Okay,
It could be a 3-minute conversation.
Say all this about this other person?
Well, just look, obviously he believed it, but
are you going to say right? Are you going to say I don't actually believe what I said about you?
You say I shouldn't have said that.
I got carried away. There was a way. Sean Payton showed so much of his ass that they had to blur out the bottom of his butt crack. It was so full.
Gross.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
True. All right, that is Hackett Job 23. And yes, the Hard Knocks podcast with me and Colleen Wolfe will actually debut later this week with a preview episode. I had a great conversation today with Rich Cimini of ESPN, who's covered that team for almost 35 years, longer than any beat writer ever. Very nice convo, and then we'll have shows every Tuesday night recapping each episode. First guest on the show, The Face, and longtime Jets fan Rich Eisen will join me.
What a lineup.
To recap episode 1. It's going to be great.
Do you think that Gregg and or Mark will appear at some point on
Would
the
you
show?
like to be on the program?
I would want to be on any program, but especially this one because this one.
Wait a second. Now you sound like Sean Payton. That's a lie.
No, but
I would like to be on any program.
But so I've had my issues, my ups and downs with Hard Knocks,
right?
But not this time.
You're all in.
This is what I've been waiting for.
If you are all
Don't
in on the program,
feed it when I'm not asking for it, but now I'm asking for it.
If you're all in,
yeah,
because that's the shows for people that are all in.
Haven't I been pro Jets this offseason? I'm not trying.
Largely, yes.
Yeah. Well, mostly.
Yes.
So yes, I want to be.
But
on
this
the program.
isn't so much about the Jets; it's about Hard Knocks, the program, which doesn't have to be all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
If you're excited to talk about the show and watch the show, that's exactly the type of guest
But I'm only asking for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll come on for 2 or 3 minutes even.
We can absolutely
squeeze me in. Just squeeze me into
it. Doesn't sound all in. I mean,
I am all in. Great.
If I'm doing a ranking, a power rankings of who's been in on Hard Knocks over the years, Dan's clear number 1.
Yeah.
I'm on the payroll.
I'll throw Colleen in there now too because she's involved with it. I'm strongly right behind them. Always been a supporter.
Supporter of all NFL Films enterprises.
Wes was next. He had mixed feelings. He started to get a little sick of it, and then I would rank you last.
Yeah, but don't you see the dynamic? I was in that spot down at the bottom. I would argue Wes and I were probably equal, but like I'm now saying I'm enthused. There's some enthusiasm.
We're going to take that under advisement. I'll have a conversation with Colleen. I don't know what else to say.
Colleen's going to say no? Then I've never had an issue with her, but that
Put it this way.
Yeah.
Now that we've had this conversation, if you're not on the show, you'll know why.
Yeah, I will. So will everyone else.
I also don't like how much pop quarterback got versus Hard Knocks, that this was somehow the most important football show in the world, and I pushed back on that. And so now I'm rededicating
That's a little straw man-y. Your old boss, Florio, apparently wrote that.
Well, it's not a straw
Nobody
man.
else is saying
it's a powerful opinion maker in the NFL. There's no straw here.
You might be on the payroll still.
Flesh and blood.
Anyway, good stuff. And I did talk to Samini real briefly. We got to move on. But I said, all you ever hear about Hackett, by the way, other than the disaster of Denver, was he's so fun to play for. I think Hard Knocks is going to be interesting to see what does fun mean? What does fun mean in the NFL? Why does he make it fun?
I think if you're HBO, it's like if Hackett was like number 8 person that you're going to cover, he's like rising up the charts.
Exactly.
It's a great example of stuff that happens in all careers. It's like not everyone is meant to be the person in charge. And oh, by the way, being the person in charge might not be that fun anyways. I feel like Hackett found his level. Mm-hmm. It should be one down, and he can be great at that.
Mm-hmm. All right. In other news, bad news. Speaking of the Denver Broncos, Broncos defensive tackle Ayuma Owuzakari. Help me out. Is it Ayuma?
I've never heard anyone say his name. Owuzarike, rather.
This is a hard one.
You're making it tough on the whole population
it's
when you
okay.
name a child that. So
it's fourth round
anyway,
pick last year.
Fourth round pick last year. Ayuma Owuzarike was suspended indefinitely last week. It's not my fault. For betting on NFL games in the 2022 season. And now he is being investigated in a criminal probe involving gambling. This from the Des Moines Register via PFT. The report is that prosecutors in Iowa say a FanDuel account Owuzarike controlled was used to make approximately 801 wagers totaling over $21,000, and that some of the wagers, on both Broncos and Iowa State football games in which he plays. Prosecutors say he bet on 4 Broncos games for which he was inactive last season, as well as the Broncos' December 18th game against the Cardinals, a game in which he played 29 snaps and had 2 tackles. There was also an element to this story, Greg, where he tried to scheme with another person, a woman named Rachel Louise Francis. Now I'm doubting everything.
Yeah, everything.
It could be Rachel Louise Francis. I don't know. To disguise his identity and manipulate mobile transactions to make it look like bets placed by him were actually placed by her.
It's
Don't
crazy because of the criminal part of it. First of all, if you do the math, the amount of money he spent and the amount of bets he made, those bets averaged $26 per bet.
Why?
So no one's getting rich off this. No one's even trying to get rich off this. But I found it very fascinating. He also was doing like player props involving the Broncos, like Broncos related ones were up to 32. I mean, you could absolutely get inside information. Who knows if he had that or not? My guess would be not, based on the lack of money he was actually putting down here. But the Iowa State quarterback is also wrapped up in this and is probably going to be suspended forever. Like, I don't know if he had a pro career, but his football life is essentially over for this. You just hope that this is like learning process for some of these players, that we won't keep going through this. But I don't know. It might just keep happening year after year.
I do wonder. I think now, though, there's awareness now because we've had these suspensions that have come in bunches. But these rolling investigations, because it's like they all happened a month or two ago, guys getting suspended. This happened. Like, I have 2 questions.
Some of it happened 2 years ago while he was at Iowa State. They were already investigating.
Well, but I mean, the NFL's,
like,
dropping the suspension. We're close to games, and we're close to real games. I know we're saying when the season really starts, but it's like, will this kind of thing happen where the NFL learns something in week 3 and they suspend someone? And will it ever be a star player? It's all these guys who are kind of like backup dudes, and they're gone, and it's like, cool, have a nice time. But like
Calvin Ridley, Jameson Williams. Yeah.
Ridley makes sense, but like I'm just saying, I'm wondering, like, will we be hit with one where the NFL has to make a really tough decision on someone caught doing something and they're a major headliner?
Mm-hmm. Good story to watch. Big story to watch. Is there any good news coming out of Denver camp right now? The Broncos waived wide receiver KJ Hamler with a non-football injury designation on Monday. That coming after he was diagnosed with a heart issue that led to his exit from Broncos camp. There is a positive spin to this that Denver, despite waiving Hamler, they still see a future with him. And Peyton said that Hamler is expected to be out approximately a month as he treats the condition. And the hope is that he'll be back with the team. Former second-round pick who's had trouble, like so many Broncos wide receivers in the last couple of years, really getting his career going amidst injuries and ineffective quarterback play. Maybe he's a player for them. Maybe he's not. They could use him.
They had 4 wide receivers going into last season that looked so promising: Patrick, Judy, Sutton, and Hamler. I really liked Hamler as a rookie. Those 4 guys have never played and completed a full game together. Like, that was their vision. That all these guys are pretty young, varying levels. Patrick's a little older. And they played exactly 1 game all together. And by the end of that game, I think it was Judy or Sutton who was hurt. And it's just now you would assume it's never going to happen.
Yeah, we're 3 years in talking about Denver's offensive lineup as simply more potential than anything we've seen. I do think it's interesting that with Peyton there, Marcus Callaway is there, our friend little Jordan Humphrey. Previous, I get sort of a friend of the show. I don't know if he
was on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought that was the greatest moment of his life, that interview. But
I don't think he's ever thought of it ever again.
No, I'm sure it escaped the memory right away. But issues, Marvin Mims, I guess he's going to get more meaningful snaps right away at this point.
In other injury news, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be without their first-round pick for a month, at least it appears. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that defensive tackle Kalijah Kancey, the 19th overall pick in this year's draft, has a strained calf, Joe Burrow injury, and the hope, as like with Joe Burrow and with virtually every player who has a chance, the hope is that he'll be back for week 1. Mark, this is a Bucs defense that regressed last year, that needs some fresh blood. The idea is that Kancey will be an immediate contributor, and now most of his summer gets wiped out by a lower body injury. It's not good, Bob.
No, and they want him to, right away line up next to Vita Vea. And this is someone they've talked about as like a little Aaron Donald type player. Lance Zierlein compared him to John Randall, the old Vikings Havoc Reeker, who was an incredible defensive player. And I think in general, like the Bucs, if he comes back and he's healthy, it's like we kind of just written off the Bucs. I feel like if I look at one team just because of their quarterback situation and post Tom Brady, it's like the Bucs actually have a lot of talent on defense, and they're a team that in a soft NFC in a winnable division have just been counted out.
I feel like the Bucs barely exist. I cannot remember a quarterback battle getting less attention than Baker versus Trask, and it sounds like it's a real battle. That Trask.
There's a report today that it's tightening up, which is not. I don't think that's a good sign for Baker Mayfield.
It's not good that it's a
Dave Canales, the OC who was with Gino in Seattle last year, said, "Don't cut out John Walford."
Oofa.
And he said, "Throw him into the competition cauldron." And I said, "I like that.
That's nice."
I think he said the competitive cauldron. I'm going to call it the competition cauldron.
Eric Roberts, producer, write that down. That is a goddamn segment if I've ever heard one. The competition cauldron.
I was very excited. I was excited to see. I was like, man, they're all going to start games. It's a good reminder of different reporting. Vita Vea had a grade 3 calf strain and missed like a couple months of his rookie year and came back in the middle of the season. I think it was week 5 or 6, and immediately was great. But he missed a long time. They said this is a grade 1 strain. The only reason I'm pointing this out is like, well, the Bengals, I wish someone told me which strain Burrow had. You would guess maybe with their optimism, maybe his was a grade 1 strain, and that's why they feel confident.
Say it was between a grade 1 and a grade 2.
Why are they withholding that information from us?
Well, it's a good job by the reporters out there in Tampa.
Teams like to keep that close.
Someone needs to dig a little.
You know who's really interested? Their week 1 opponent, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So why give them anything?
The fact that Jake Browning is taking their first team snaps, the Bengals, that is, in practice, tells me they can't be that worried. Give me a break.
You know who really wants to know that? Speaking of a callback to an earlier story we've done, the desert wants to know. Is Joe Burrow playing?
Yeah, they do.
How about those MVP odds that he was on top of the day before that injury? I'm sure he's not anymore.
Onwuzurike is he's texting his friends over in Cincinnati trying to get some tips.
So you just rubbing it in my face that you could say his name? Is that
I think I said it wrong. I actually just decided I went with the Lions defensive tackle, Levi Onwuzurike.
He's just leaning into that habit now.
I messed it up.
8 o'clock delight, Greggy.
O.J. Howard, remember him? First round pick, cut by a team. What team was he on, Mark?
He was on the Raiders.
Okay.
He looked at his notes. Doesn't
Okay.
count.
No, but
I'll
I mean,
take it.
this is a guy who has 35 receptions over the last 3
By the
seasons.
way, a can't-miss prospect out of Alabama.
Yeah, I think that's it for
Yeah,
him.
Ken-
That's what I wanted to
Kyle
note.
Pitts fans.
I noted Brett Meyer. This was actually a week ago, but he has a job in Denver. He is part of the kicking competition. No one gave Brett Maher a job until a week ago after what happened, Dan.
Greggy, he missed like 7 extra points.
I get it, but he hit 90% of his
That's
field
it.
goals last
That's
year.
it. Especially in the crucible of the postseason. And he was clearly, his mind was all banged up. You don't want to go near a kicker like that. I got respect for the man. He had a great season otherwise, but that sticks in the minds of all.
Cowboys running back Ronald Jones suspended 2 games for PEDs. They need to back him.
Don't care.
Nickelodeon to air the Super Bowl. My kids will like that. And then finally, Jalen Hurd, the former third-round pick who played multiple positions for the 49ers, has retired with the Patriots. And I just wanted to
How did that make our news?
keep this
Now
streak
you've
of-
gone too far. So you
Actually,
abused it.
I have a take here, though.
It better be good.
How many careers have ended in Patriots training camp? They end. It always happens. I'm not picking on the poor man, but like Reggie Wayne, our friend Andrew Hawkins, like all these people show up to Patriots training camp and they're just like, I don't want to play football.
Too serious.
Maybe do some big corpo digging here, because that doesn't make any sense, the Nickelodeon thing. But sure enough,
What do you mean?
Nickelodeon is
You
owned
think
by.
you think you need to double source me?
No. I'm just throwing. Why would they ever agree to do that? Nickelodeon is a part of the Paramount Media Networks, which is owned by, I believe, CBS, which is
Well,
yes,
sure.
Why do you?
Broadcasting
Why
the
would they?
Super Bowl.
Why would they agree to do what? Air the Super Bowl?
like have an alternate
Yeah.
broadcast to slice away the radio.
Well, yeah,
but
it's
all
only
their
on
umbrella.
it's only on.
do you
on the
care about
CBS.
children's programming?
No, I'm saying I wonder why one of the big networks would ever siphon off any of their audience, but CBS don't care because Nickelodeon, as I mentioned, is part of the Paramount Media Networks. It's just corpo, talk conglomerations, and one fish eats the bigger fish, then gets eaten by the next fish. That whole thing, the evolution of the business world. It's a little upper level for you, but
Yes, it's over my head.
that's what's happening in the news. We'll be right back. All right, here we go.
See, people think we took a break there, but it's really, we're laughing because it's like 8 seconds from when we were. Then they shoved something in, so the listener has to take a break, but we're not. We don't take breaks.
Really pulling.
Well,
Peek behind
you're
the curtain.
teaching
No
me
one's
about
figured-
the corporate adult world. I'm teaching you about
I
how this
see.
broadcast works. We don't take breaks. I'm not walking around the hallway in between our show.
Is this part of the show? Are we leaving this in?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is in.
This is in. All right, welcome back. In real time, we move on now with this is a great exercise. I'm excited about it. All across the league, every team is in training camp. The pads are on, and fans want answers to the questions, and that's why the media is so important. They are the conduit. So, with that said, let's do some head coach press conferences. And let's have some fun with it. Mark, try to have fun with it. This is a text I got from Mark after pitching the idea at 9:24 a.m. I'd rather not attempt to shift into actor mode, but I think the Q&A aspect works.
Well, if that's not enthusiasm, I don't know what is. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not going to do a bunch of, song and dance and voices. I'll help you with the press conference part.
Right. This is an entertainment vehicle, first and foremost. I'm not
Right.
saying you need to become Robert De Niro and become a method actor when you pull a name out of this helmet.
Yeah.
That I'm holding, this G-Man helmet. But I would hope that you're a very creative person. Let me set this up this way, Greg. Mark, you're a very creative guy. And I believe in you that this segment will fly in large part because of your contribution.
TBD.
Get him involved. I think that's good. I like a segment where you don't know where it's gonna go. We're just flying by the seat of our pants. I think that was maybe some of the anxiety you were hearing from Mark.
Right.
That's where you're gonna get the best mark in the end. Right.
There you go. I like that. You're a prep guy, and I know this is a little bit
right. I think that's
maybe you should be the first coach then.
Right.
It's
because listen, am I sure it's gonna go well? No. The segment could be terrible, but we don't know until we try it. So I'm holding this official Giants helmet. They're very heavy. These official.
I like this segment already. I mean, we could do it with like historical figures in the future. It could have offshoots.
Oh yeah, put George Washington in this.
I mean more like George Hallis or something.
On the Delaware River, just chopping it up during the Rev.
If George Washington actually ever existed.
Oh, that's
Hey George, it's like, when is this Rev gonna be over? It's taking forever.
Rev.
Anyway, 32 coaches in this helmet. I will pull the first name, and now the other two men in the studio will serve as the journos that will ask questions of this coach.
Okay.
Okay. There's no time limit. It's just we'll see.
See how it goes. Okay. And I've drawn the name of.
It's not going to go on forever, but
yours might. Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott. I am Sean McDermott. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good day of practice today, and feel good about the progress we're making. Obviously, a long way to go, but a good start. Open up for questions.
Let's be real. The Buffalo Bills have been an NFL centerpiece. What's a successful season? Like, is anything less than winning the AFC something that would put you on a bit of a hot seat?
It's a good question, Mark. I think what you're expecting me to say is the typical coach answer. That I'm just what's in front of me right now, and right now the focus is on training camp, and then week 1 against our opponent. I haven't checked in on who it is yet. Oh, it's the New York Jets on Monday Night Football.
You might want to get on that.
Yeah, but I will be honest with you. This is Super Bowl or bust for this team, and I don't think my job is in danger. But I would say many jobs in the organization are in peril if we fall short of the goal this season, and I'm nervous about it because I know we've been building toward this, but I feel really good about the team. I think I got the Diggs situation under control. That guy's a nightmare behind the scenes. Just keep it between us.
Wait,
yes,
Diggs is a nightmare. Can you expound on that?
I take that back. He's a personality and a charismatic individual.
Yeah, we've got a live one here. We're going to need A1 Buffalo News.
Stefan wants to win, and that's what we love about Stefan. He's an incredible competitor, as is every other man on this roster if you're going to be part of Buffalo country. So we're excited about Stefan and Josh and the whole gang making magic.
What does it mean? Leslie Frazier gone. You have to do the head coach thing where you're also calling plays on defense. You're not able to delegate that at this point. Do you feel ready to do all that on game day, or is it like a little bit too much? Maybe taking a little bit too bite out
full
of the pie.
Disclosure again. I don't know. Maybe I was hanging out with Sean Payton before the conference. I forgot to hire a new DC, so we had to list it as vacant. It's my bad. But as you know, that is where I earn my bones down there in Charlotte, and I'm feeling good about. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling strong to quite strong in terms of my confidence that the team will be competitive defensively. Need to get Von back. Von was our closer. We were never the same without him. We're going to take it easy. He's like 45 years old, coming off another knee injury. So not feeling that good about it, that he's going to still be an impact player. But if he is, we will do what we need to do on defense. He's our closer, and Josh will do the rest.
Yeah, Sean, how's that right guard battle going? How's Osiris Torrance coming along? Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Ryan Bates?
Second round pick. I like what Bates is doing, but look out for Ike Boddicker because he's working, he's grinding. I could tell he wants it. And Kevin Jarvis is also in that room amongst the right guards, and he wants it as well. That's all I got.
You ever try to relax a little? I'm going to squeeze in one. Like, sometimes it's like you're the dad driving the kids on vacation, and you're gripping that wheel so tight. You ever just want to ease up a little bit? You ever think about that?
Do I seem like I'm a tense individual?
Yes.
What publication are you writing for over there, reporting?
Are you aware what's happening in Western New York with professional football for the past, 50 years? and the amount of pressure I'm under to get over the hump? Do you understand what it means to be the coach of the Buffalo Bills and we keep getting back to the playoffs and we can't get over it? Do you know what it means? I'm out of here. That you got to be careful. Can I just say unsolicited advice here? Like, is it journo to journo?
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask with these guys.
I mean,
they are highly strung. It's a high pressure environment.
I mean, it got a great answer. It got a great answer that's going to be leading WCVB.
Well, that's true. That's what it is about.
Okay. I can't look. Here we go.
I do like picking
it out. All right. I'm Arthur Smith.
Interesting.
Hey, you know me, I'm Arthur Smith. It's like,
yes.
I don't take. I'm like the tough guy. Maybe I'm overcompensating because, like, you know, Dad's the FedEx boss, but I'm the tough guy. Always a lot of sarcasm. What do you got?
Well, Arthur, the DeAndre Hopkins signing. Do you think that will finally get you over the hump post A.J. Brown? And also, have you seen Justin Graver, the former producer of Around the NFL, putting out hype videos for Treylon Burks? Is this wide receiver room going to be worth a damn this year?
Yeah, I don't know if this is Jim Wyatt or something, if you're time traveling, but I'm in Atlanta. I'm the Atlanta head football coach. We've moved on past Tennessee. I parlayed that into this job, so I don't need DeAndre Hopkins. I don't need you at my press conference anymore.
I'll see myself out.
I'll ask a question. Are you tempted? I understand from ownership on down, there's this verbal faith in Desmond Ridder. Are you tempted to bring in your old guy, Ryan Tannehill, to run a similar, ground and pound offense that you had back in Tennessee when you were Tennessee's offensive coordinator?
You know, I love the ground. I love the pound. I love the possibility of this team maybe being the team of the Around the NFL podcast. I hear those guys are pretty big out there.
Never.
I got
the guy that got kicked out for not knowing where you're coaching, but he doesn't want that job.
I got my Tannehill right here for you. His name's Taylor Heineke. That's my Tannehill. We're not going to worry about the forward pass too much. We're going to run the ball. We got Cordarrelle. We got Bijan. We got Algier. We got Ridder. He can run a little bit. Taylor can scamper back there too. It's not about passing the ball in 2020.
I'm sorry. Did you just say, sir? Because I feel like I got my headline here. We're not worried too much about the forward pass.
No.
Wow.
Everyone's zigging. We're zagging. We're gonna be tougher than you. Is it overcompensating because I didn't play football at a high level and my dad was a billionaire? I don't know, but we're gonna be tougher than you. I'm the tough guy.
Last one for Coach, guys.
You keep bringing up the your father's shipping magnate history. Like, do you yourself? What's the last FedEx package that you received and what was inside of it?
I'm ball all the time. Never into it. Amazon's kind of taking a big bite out of us, but we're working with them.
Wow. All right, next, Mark. It's that was nice. I apologize for that little mind cramp.
Rocky start here. Rocky start.
Yeah.
Let's rebound.
Here we go.
Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon.
Tough one.
That was the one I think would be ranked 32 out of this list. Jonathan, you're splitting your quarterback reps 4 ways.
Well, he has to step up and make his initial comment.
Hi, guys. Jonathan Gannon. I'm very excited to be here, first-year coach. I don't know if you have ever seen me before. We've got a young roster, a lot of players here that we believe in, and we believe in developing our players. And the Arizona Cardinals are not giving up before the season starts. Contrary to suspicious reports.
What's going on with your splitting the quarterback reps 4 ways at camps? There's old Bill Parcells saying, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. What do you got when you got 4 quarterbacks?
Got his ace.
Well, hold on. We believe in competition here, number one. And first of all, I want to talk about the leadership of Colt McCoy. Our quarterback room couldn't have a better leader. But we've got this young 5th-round pick, Clayton Tune, that the more I see of him, the more I think that this kid could play. So it's like, why would I automatically assign our quarterback day one here? Like, we have a chance for all 4 of them to make some noise. David Blau is a young hero. Have you seen Jeff Driscoll play? I mean, I think we know he can play.
Are you a subscriber to the Blauhards newsletter?
I did for years subscribe to that, and it was an incredible read. It was typewritten. It would arrive, roughly 10 or 12 days late. But what a great thing to go back and look at. That's one of the reasons he's here.
One more for Coach, everybody. One more.
There are reports out there that, Coach, there's a quote culture shock in Arizona. I'm curious, if you want to do any patronizing of the former coach, Cliff Kingsbury, and also if you realize you might be being set up as a patsy in Arizona for one of the worst seasons in franchise history.
I do sense that, the latter on some level. But
there's the headline.
Yeah, I took the job believing that the Cardinals have a strong future with me at the helm. I believe it will hopefully last more than 7 or 8 months.
Thank you for your candor, Coach. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. I am. How you doing, everybody? It's, as you know, it's me, Ron Rivera, coach of the Washington, whatever we are now. Good day at camp today. Guys working hard, grinding. If we can get 1% better every day, we'll be in good shape come September. What do you got?
What is your philosophy? I would guess centered around your utter refusal to get a functional quarterback.
Whoa.
Well, thanks for the question. I tend to think that people seem to be overlooking the upside of Sam Howell. Did you know? Have you heard, sir, that many people had him atop the draft board of QBs in 2022? Did you hear that?
Well, outside of the fact that...
Yay or nay, sir?
Nay.
You did not hear that report.
32 teams decided he was not needed to be picked in the first 4 rounds.
Good point, bro. Good point. Yeah.
Sir, some decorum.
Please.
I believe in Sam Howell, kind of. But that's also why I have Jake Brisket. So if Sam Howell is terrible, I know I can slide in Jake Brisket, and I'll be locked and loaded for 7 wins, 8 wins tops. Pretty good stuff. And then, I'm probably out of here anyway. Let's be honest. They're going to clean this whole place out. All I need to do is make sure I don't go, 3-14, 4-13, 5-12. If I can avoid that, I might get another head coaching job because people will say, "Oh, we love Ron. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me." So it's like maybe I get a third bite of the apple because they say, "Oh, yeah, he went to the Super Bowl with the Panthers, and he was with Washington. What a joke that was with that old guy owner." If I could just be mediocre, if I could keep this organization in that plane, I think I can get another job somewhere else.
Inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, give me your best Dan Snyder story now that he's gone. You can just
Man, he had this. He took me out fishing once, and he climbed up into the top of the what do they call that thing? The perch. He had a rifle, and he was just sniping dolphins. He was like wiping them out, and he wasn't even collecting them. It wasn't like it was like he was using them to eat. I don't know if you eat dolphins; they're a mammal. Or hang them up in his parlor or anything. Just shooting the bastards, poor things. So that is a harrowing memory.
Let's get one more for Ron, guys. One more.
All right. I feel like I shouldn't have shared that one. Okay, go ahead.
What is a successful season for this Commanders team?
I already told you, sir. 8-9, home run. And if Hal stinks, then I'll put in Brisket, and he'll get me those 7 or 8 wins.
Are you aware? And I forgot this, and I'm speaking here as the reporter, Gregg Rosnethal. I was flipping through my phone last night, and I saw a London fan of the Around the NFL podcast once wore a Brisket jersey to the game, which I had forgotten about. That's goddamn incredible.
I watch ATN all the time. I watch it all the time.
I'm just speaking for
That's a great
myself.
Show. I watch it every show.
Someone should know this. I did a bad job there as a journo. I need to step up my game.
Well, this time you're going to take on the shoes of?
I am Cleveland Browns coach, Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin, you've been coasting on your looks for a couple of years now. And yes, you are a mezzanine tier Clooney. I will give you that. But after the Deshaun Watson situation, you understand you're under an immense amount of pressure to be a double-digit win team or else, right?
Yeah, I get it. Everyone's gone this year if we don't win. Deshaun, there's positives and negatives. The negative, all the horrible things he did, the complete year of embarrassment we had to live through. His play on the field, maybe the worst quarterback in the league. The contract, I mean, it's kind of a joke, made us look bad, and it's just an extraordinary amount of money that's been sent out there.
Remarkable candor from these coaches.
What was I getting at? Oh, yeah, the positive. No one's actually heard me speak in a year, so he's kind of taken that attention away. But I'm very aware, year 4, we need to win, I would say, 10 games or else I'm gone.
Peel the onion back for us, the two journalists here in the room. The whole Deshaun Watson situation. Did you want him? I mean, you knew it was going to be complex for you as a coach, puts a lot of pressure on you. But the nature of it, was it just foisted upon you, or was this something that you were all 100% in on yourself?
Now's an awkward time to say what really happened, but no, it was ownership. I'm just a peon here, and I don't know if Andrew Berry really wanted him. I don't know if I really wanted him. I'm just having to make it work like every coach has had to try to do for these Browns owners for the last 30 years. I feel for our fans.
Coach, you're a big around the NFL fan, I know.
Yes, I remember Mark, my dog. My dog Mark with a C. When he put my picture next to George Clooney's picture in a shot on NFL Now or some show. It was when I was peaking. That and the whole I made Baker look like a real guy for a while.
But did you hear the episode where Marc Sessler said if Bill Belichick replaced you as head coach, he might come back to the fandom? How does that strike you?
I don't believe that. I mean, I believe it, but I believe if I win 10 or 11 games, Mark is going to be right there with us. He can pretend whatever he wants. Like some of those Browns fans out there, if I deliver a winner, they'll all be back.
Mark, you have anything to say to that?
You got a great beard. Always admired it. What setting do you like the beard trimmer? Like what setting do you use? What
last one for Coach, guys? No more, please.
3.5 on the beard, 4.5 on the mustache. I like that to be a little fuller,
a little thicker.
Good to know.
Girthier mustache. All right, final presser, Marc Sessler.
Oh, that's it.
Make it count.
I want more.
We could do another round.
Oh,
what do you think, Eric? Should we do another round or?
Maybe you're right.
Leave him wanting more. I don't know. I mean,
that's a good translation. What is it when a producer says that? What
no,
does it
I
mean?
want Dan doing one more.
I got the Zaddy.
Ooh.
Oh.
Dallas Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy.
Any opening comments from Zad?
Great to be here. We're here in Oxnard. It's always it's a great Cowboys tradition to travel out here to California. We have high hopes. I'm not going to shield that from anyone. Our expectations are not just the playoffs, but multiple playoff wins and a Super Bowl berth to bring Jerry Jones another beautiful Super Bowl trophy.
Do you worry it's all about you right now, Mike McCarthy, that it seems like a lot of the focus is on you taking the play calling, your desire to have a little more fun as a coach, your desire to go deep, throw the ball deep in a league where they're really kind of taking away the deep ball. It seems like it's a lot about you this week.
I have nothing related to worry. I made the decisions that I made. We moved on from our last play caller because I was brought here to revolutionize this offense. You will not forget that I had that sabbatical year where I went away and took a look at the league in general, and they thought that I was becoming a predictable play caller, but I've done a lot of self-work, and I'm ready to show that to America and Europe and all the countries beyond come September.
Well, that famous feature you did with Tom Pelissero, the Pell Raiser.
Pell Raiser.
Where you showed that you got a PFF Ultimate subscription. Do you keep in touch with him?
The Pell Raiser obviously is one of the reasons that I got back into the league. That feature that was included both on NFL.com and there was a video featurette attached to it as well was massive for my career. And so, yes, the Pell Raiser and I will talk, we'll text here and there. A dynamic, invigorating character.
Let's be real, Coach. Your offense, although it was productive, they still got rid of the OC. Now you're in charge, and there's a little bit of a lack of explosiveness in the playmaker department, a pass catcher. Let's see. Your tight end room includes Jake Ferguson, a former 4th-round pick. A man named Luke Schoonmaker is also high up in the depth chart. And then you look at who's the big wide receiver splash, Brandon Cooks, who looked like potentially a 30-year-old receiver. He's going to be in September, in decline in his final year. It was year with Houston. Did you actually sneaky not do enough, and now you're banking on Brandon Cooks to be a bounce-back player? You're banking on Michael Gallup to be healthy and effective. You're gambling that the tight end position will solve itself, and then almost putting, again, everything on CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott.
Little thin at running back, too, after Paul.
It's a fair question, but the Dallas Cowboys don't self-analyze. We don't self-scout. We just simply we simply believe that we're going to win 13 or 14 games. Sometimes we don't do the work attached to that. But, yeah, there's very little self-doubt.
All right, here's the headline, McCarthy. Sometimes we don't do the work. Got it. What is your ideal, let's say you have a Thursday night game, and now a couple days off, Saturday night, you're back home. What's your ideal Saturday night?
I like to take the wife, sometimes the kids, out for a large steak dinner. Maybe go see a show. Go to a piano bar. Listen to some tunes. Make some requests. I like to request the songs myself.
How do you get the steak? Medium rare.
No, I'm a rare. I like it. I like some blood in there. Rare.
Oh yeah.
Rare. Wife, not so much. She's gonna go. She likes it well cooked.
And you give her whatever she wants. You take care of that.
That's what I do.
That's what his zaddy does.
That's what his zaddy does.
Why don't you just bring back Zeke here? You don't have any running backs.
Well,
last one for Zaddy. I mean McCarthy.
There is a situation cooking in the middle of our country in Indianapolis that we're monitoring.
Interesting.
I like that.
Well, that's a nice nug. That's a headline.
Finally broke.
But you're not allowed to do that, though, really, right? What?
I could be
Are you commenting on a player under contract?
I could be referring to anything. I think there's a subtext.
All news is good news in Dallas. They like it.
Where's my PR guy?
Dare we do one more?
You want one more? All right, last one.
You could do one more.
Last one.
This feels like a mistake.
People can turn it off if they wish.
Hey, everybody, it's me, forever young himself, Pete Carroll, chewing my gum and loving life. Deb Hanzus thinks I'm handsome, and I feel like I have solidified myself once more in this organization. So I'm good. What do you guys got?
What's your secret, Coach?
I go for a walk every morning. I drink the blood of the innocent, and I do crossword puzzles.
Did you this whole Geno thing, like it was fun that it actually happened. Do you like really?
Can I be honest with you?
You really believe in it?
I don't believe in it.
Oh my gosh!
I was surprised as everybody was by the amount of success that Geno had, and but you look at the splits, and he did decline as I expected in the back end of the season, and that's kind of the version of Geno I expect going forward. Now I understand we gave him the contract. That was good PR for us and a bit of a, attaboy and slap on the back for Geno, but I'm not expecting big things. I would say about an 85 passer rating with roughly the same amount of touchdowns as interceptions.
Are you aware that Geno, I think, finished 10th in the Around the NFL quarterback power rankings when Dan Hanzus was not involved in the rankings themselves?
Well, Dan Hanzus does amazing work in the power rankings, but are you referring to the QB index?
Going into the season.
Are you referring to QB index? Or?
No, we did a little rankings, a little off-season rankings while Dan was on vacation.
Oh, I don't listen to those episodes. I listened to the Dan episodes.
Digging in on the Geno thing, your thoughts, let's circle back. What your thoughts on 9/11? Can you
call them the Dan eps. Oh.
Can you clarify your 9/11 concepts?
Aren't they almost all Dan eps?
You know what I feel. You could check the record. Just, jet fuel. do some research on the
Stick to
physics.
football, guys, please.
Okay.
For Pete,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank you.
You're gonna bring in Jordan Peterson as a team speaker again. I don't know if you remember that.
Is that the guy that murdered his wife?
No. But
Okay.
Last
Anything
one
else?
for Pete, guys. Last one for Pete, please.
think
Please.
I think we're good.
You're good? All right. Thanks, guys. You had to do the last one. And now we're all going down.
It's our final episode.
It's been a great ride. 10 seasons and 1 doomed off season. No, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's good. Now it got us outside our comfort zone a little bit there, but I thought, Mark, especially you shined.
It's really only about us enjoying it. I mean, it has nothing to do with anyone else. So.
We'll hear. The listeners let us know.
Let us know. Be honest. Oh, I'm sure you will be. All right. So that's our Wednesday show. We'll be back Thursday. A little bit of housekeeping. I mentioned the Hard Knocks podcast that will be dropping on Friday, I believe, and then every Tuesday. We're also, speaking of Mike McCarthy, we're going to Cowboys camp up in Oxnard on Monday. So the Monday episode of Around the NFL will be a road show. That should be fun.
Can't wait. That is about. I mean, we're checking drive times. It's about an hour and 40 minutes from where we live.
If you're in the LA area and have never been up to Oxnard, no one does it like the Cowboys. They got like 5 different radio stations. They've got like a whole like Super Bowl radio row for freaking training camp. And they're a team from Dallas that's in Los Angeles. There's 100 people there. There's thousands of fans. Doesn't matter what day it is. It's wild. It's wild. Why are they there again? I don't know. Who knows? It's cooler.
I look forward to it. I've been up to Oxnard before, but never for Cowboys camp.
Be fun
in this way. So it's going to be fun, and hopefully we'll talk to a couple players up there, maybe a coach, maybe a Zaddy drops by. Probably not, but that would be nice.
I would love to see you and Mike McCarthy encounter each other.
It would be good to just debrief him on some things that have been going on.
I think he'd like your viewpoint. It's very positive towards
I'll
his
just say this, we're
physical
nobody's
being.
underdog.
No.
Zaddy, stop it.
All right, that's it. Dan Hanzus signing off for Quiet Storm. The old boss, Eric Roberts. Good job moderating pressers. That's what you got to do. It's producer work. Heed the call.